Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Draken Tugela 3.0. This watch is available from drakenwatches.com for 580 New Zealand dollars, which equates to €342 or 414 US dollars. So Draken Watches was founded by Michael Blythe in New Zealand in 2015, and Michael has run several successful Kickstarter campaigns, and although the watch brand is based in New Zealand, Michael is actually South African, so I will explain the origin of the Draken brand name. The Draken name is named after the Drakensberg Mountains of South Africa, and Drakensberg in Afrikaans means Dragon's Mountain. So Michael has incorporated the dragon for the brand emblem, and the Draken name comes from Drakensberg Mountain. So that's a nice history and a good link to Michael being South African. So firstly, let's look at the travel case that the watch comes in, and then I'll talk you through the other items one gets with the piece. So the travel case comes protected by this matte black cardboard outer sleeve, which one removes. And this is the travel case itself, nicely embossed on the top with Draken and the brand emblem, and the stitching is flawless throughout, and I think Michael deserves full credit for not cutting any corners with regards to the presentation. I think a travel case is something that microbrands should use more often because it makes a good alternative to the plastic or cardboard watch boxes one usually gets with microbrands. So inside we get two straps. This is the leather strap and it's finished to perfection. Nice thick heavy grained leather strap, and one thing I like about it is the use of quick release spring bars. Buckle and tang is a nice heavy gauge of metal, and it's also made from 316L grade stainless steel, signed with the Draken brand logo, and I really like the thick gauge of metal. Bead blasted effect gives it a nice tool watch aesthetic, and it has one fixed keeper. So it's really nice that they've also embossed it with Dragon on the underside. Good quality leather strap, which is stiff, but once it's broken in, it's going to last for a good length of time. And one also gets a nylon Zulu strap, and the nylon is ballistic nylon, so it's going to be very tough and last for a good length of time. Good quality, nice stitching throughout, and nice heavy gauge of metal to the Zulu rings. So I think Michael deserves full credit for producing good quality straps to go with the watch as alternatives to the stainless steel bracelet that it comes on. Interior is nicely finished. As you can see, we've got Draken embossed on the interior flap, and the watch sits inside a cutout panel underneath a lycra strap, and in the top section we also have a second lycra strap for either a second watch or the straps to fit underneath. So I really like the travel case, and I think it is a very nice touch. With regards to the other items, one gets this black paper envelope, and inside the paper envelope we have two things. This is the warranty card, and I'm pleased to report that this is the serial number of the watch, 789. All Draken Tugela 3.0 watches are numbered, and it's nice to see that the warranty card matches the number of the watch, and we have the date of purchase and also the model number, which is Tugela. So the watch is covered by a 2-year international warranty, which is very reassuring. And the other item we get inside that envelope is the owner's instruction manual. And I think Michael deserves full credit because this is a micro brand, but this is actually a very good, well-crafted owner's instruction manual. Clear, concise diagrams, the text is in English, and it's very thorough and also very easy to understand. So he's done a good job of detailing every aspect of the Draken Tugela 3.0. One also gets this card which invites you to share images of your watch at Draken Watches on Instagram, and on the reverse there's also a discount code, 15% off your next order using the discount code TrueGrit. And lastly, one also gets this embroidered nylon iron-on patch, so you can iron this onto your jacket, for example, if you want to support the brand. So nice to get these kind of accessories included with the piece. So with regards to the specification of the Tugela version 3.0, as I've discussed, Michael Blythe founded Draken Watches in 2015, and he successfully ran a Kickstarter campaign for the Tugela. There have been 3 versions. This is the latest version 3, and throughout those 3 versions there have been some enhancements to refine the watch, and I really think he deserves credit for producing a well executed final version 3. So the Tugela version 3.0 is available in 3 bezel colour options with a black dial. This is the red colour option. If this isn't your personal taste, it's also available in a black bezel version or a blue bezel version alternatively. The case is entirely made from 316L grade stainless steel, as is the bezel and the bracelet. So it's a large piece, 42mm case diameter. It has a 48.4mm lug-to-lug measurement, and it has a thickness of 14.2mm, including the single domed sapphire crystal. AR coating on the underside of the single domed sapphire crystal is very effective in reducing the glare and reflection, and I really like the use of the single domed sapphire crystal. One often sees double domed sapphire crystals which are curved on both the underside and the top side, but I personally prefer single domed sapphire crystals because they have a slight magnification effect and it gives the watch a vintage or tool watch aesthetic. One thing I really like about it is the geometric shapes to the painted indices. The indices are fully lumed with X1 C3 Superluminova, as are the hands. And I really like the design aesthetics because Michael has come up with completely a unique design of the watch. Every aspect of it is his own design. This isn't an homage to any other watch. So rather than just using the default Submariner dates dial layout, he has placed the date complication at 6, and I like the geometric shapes to the indices. They really do add interest to the watch, as do the hands. The minute hand is very attractive because it is loomed with fluorescent orange, and that really does replicate the plongeur style minute hands used on vintage dive pieces from the 1960s and 1970s. So it does add interest to it. And with regards to the bezel, it is an aluminium bezel which is fully lumed with X1C3 Superluminova, 120 click unidirectional bezel, 316L grade stainless steel, and beautifully finished with regards to the teeth profile. Now, with regards to the heft of the piece, it is a large piece at 42mm and it does have some heft. This is 211 grams, including all the solid links in the 316L grade stainless steel bracelet. Now, that 211 grams of heft will reduce significantly the more links you remove, but however, in excess of 150 grams does mean that the watch wears with great wrist presence and also heft. So I would say if you're a collector with a smaller wrist of 6 to 7 inches, you may find this to be too large at 42mm and wearing with too much heft at 211 grams. So really it's a piece that's best suited to collectors with a larger wrist of say 7 to 8 inches. On the left hand flank we have the Draken brand emblem which is engraved, very nicely done, and I like the bead blasted effect because it makes a refreshing change from the brushed satin finish one usually gets, alternatively mirror polished flanks to a case. The crown provides an effective hermetic seal to 300 meters of water resistance. It's knurled finish, and one detail I really like about it is the engraved Draken emblem, which is a dragon, is also fully loomed with X1 C3 Superluminova, and that's something one doesn't often see. So really the specification is strong because we've got X1 C3 Superluminova on the dial and hands. The aluminium bezel insert is also fully loomed, as is the screw down crown. 300 meters water resistance. It has a screw down solid 316L grade stainless steel case back, as you can see, and as you can see it is engraved beautifully with the Drakensberg mountains, and that's a nice attention to detail, and it does fit with the brand as I've discussed. Drakensberg in Afrikaans means Dragon's Mountain. Nicely engraved with the specification and solid end links which are a good fit to the case. So I'll give you a wrist shot and you can see how it fits on my 8-inch wrist. Now I haven't sized the bracelet, I've simply taken it out of the travel case, and I'm pleased to report that as you can see it fits my 8-inch wrist with no difficulties whatsoever. So it is a large piece, 42mm, but bear in mind it's 14.2mm thick, including the single dome sapphire crystal. So it is easily going to slip underneath a shirt cuff if you wear business shirts, and it will be a comfortable daily wear piece. Now if you find the 211 grams of heft to be too heavy to be comfortable, bear in mind it does come with a leather strap that I've shown you, and also the ballistic nylon Zulu strap, so one could also wear it on the leather strap or the nylon Zulu if you want to reduce the heft. Nicely executed bracelet. I like the fact it tapers from 22mm at the lugs down to 20mm at the flip-lock clasp. 2-button push flip-lock clasp, well executed, and I'll show you it in detail. I like the fact it's solid 316L grade stainless steel, which is milled, and also there's a nice positive click to the clasp when one presses it down to close it, and also a nice positive secondary click. As you can see, the flip lock is signed with Draken. There's something else I really like about it, which I'll show you, and it's something that other brands don't always do. There's actually a recess underneath the flip lock for one's fingernail or thumbnail to fit underneath the V-shaped flip lock, and that means that one can easily get one's fingernail or thumbnail underneath the point of the V-shaped flip lock to flick it up. And sometimes bracelet clasps don't have that, and it actually makes it more difficult to scoop one's fingernail underneath the V-shaped clasp. So it's very well executed. Also has the added security of the 2-button push trigger action, and that means that it's got a really firm click and it's very secure. So I like it. It's well executed. Nice bevel machined to the edge of it, and also I like the fact it has 5 micro adjustment holes. Again, this is something that often brands neglect. They will often put 3 micro adjustment holes in the clasp, but with 5 one can fine tune the fit of the bracelet, and I really like the attention to detail. Now, push pins in the bracelet links rather than screw pins. Personally, I would prefer to see screw pins, but however, this is subjective. Some collectors actually prefer push pins because it makes resizing the bracelets easy. I think that they should be upgraded to screw pins, but as I've said, this is my own personal taste. It is subjective. I do like the execution of the solid 316L grade stainless steel flip lock clasp. Right, so let's talk about the bezel action. 120 click unidirectional bezel, as one would expect. Good firm resistance bezel action, similar to a Steinhardt Ocean 1 if you're familiar with that, or alternatively a Seiko SKX 007. No lateral side to side play whatsoever. Good, tight, firm bezel. No back play whatsoever. So it's a 10 out of 10 bezel action. Nice loud clicks, good firm spring ratcheting mechanism, and I really like it. Absolute pleasure to hear the loud clicks, and I like the firm resistance. It's not going to easily knock out of position. And let's just check the alignment. And the triangle on the aluminium bezel insert aligns perfectly with the 12 o'clock index on the dial. So no lateral side-to-side play, no back play, and perfect alignment. Really is a 10 out of 10 bezel. With regards to the crown execution, let's test that. Silky smooth. It unscrews with no resistance whatsoever, and it's got the characteristic pop spring-loaded action of the Seiko NH35A. Absolute pleasure to manually wind the crown to top up the power reserve to its maximum 40-hour power reserve. It has hand winding and hacking, which are useful complications, and no problems with the interface of the threading whatsoever. The crown screws back down on the crown tube. It's silky smooth. So Draken deserve full credit because the bezel action is superb, as is the crown action. So the crown provides an effective hermetic seal to 300 meters, as does the screw down stainless steel case back. Now, nice finishing throughout. I'm very pleased with the quality control, the build's quality, and also the finishing. The bead blasted effect really does give it a tool watch aesthetic. I think they've made the correct decision by citing the date complication at 6 o'clock because it retains the symmetry of the dial, and also the attention to detail is very good because it's also framed with an orange circle which matches the orange minute hand. So let's do a Lume test and we'll see how the Lume performs when it's charged up to its absolute maximum. Now, bearing in mind this uses X1C3 Superluminova, I've got very high expectations of the performance. As you'll know from my previous reviews, C3 is one of my personal favourites, and X1C3 really is top grade C3 Superluminova. It's bright, but it also has the characteristic green tone of C3. Right, so that's now fully charged, and as you can see, it has not disappointed. This is incredible quality X1C3 Superluminova, the very best of Superluminova. It's glowing incredibly brightly, and it's also continuing to glow for a good length of time. The hands are clearly legible, and also I like the fact the bezel is fully lumed. One can clearly see the 15-minute indexing of the first quarter of the bezel, and really this is just incredible. It's the brightest lume I've ever seen on a watch. I think it's close to Seiko Lume Bright, which is excellent, or alternatively Swiss BGW9, which of course glows blue rather than green. So I think Draken have made the correct choice by using X1C3 Superluminova, and the green is just beautiful to look at as well as being very functional. Now, one thing I really like is also they have fully loomed the screw down crown. As you can see, it has the dragon emblem, which is the Draken brand emblem, and that's a nice touch, and it's something one doesn't often see. The use of Superluminova on a crown is something I would like to see other brands use, and as you can see, it adds interest to the screw down crown, and it is finished to perfection. It's glowing very brightly on the crown, so it's a nice touch. So really, Draken deserve full credit for using top grade C3 Superluminova, and as you can see, it is still continuing to glow for a good length of time very brightly. So I'm absolutely delighted with that. It's very impressive. Now, with regards to the movement used, you will all be familiar with the Seiko NH35A, which is made in Japan, 24 joules. It has hand winding and hacking. It runs at 21,600 vibrations per hour and a frequency of 3 Hz. 40-hour power reserve is perfectly acceptable, and it has a stated accuracy of -20 to +40 seconds per day. Now, I'm pleased to report that this piece is regulated to +6 seconds per day, which is outstanding for a Seiko NH35A. And really, bearing in mind the price point, 580 New Zealand dollars, which is 414 US dollars. It really is good to get a Seiko NH35A regulated to +6. So very well regulated and good, solid, reliable, well-proven workhorse movement. So lastly, I'll surmise the piece. What do I think of it overall? Well, when I'm considering reviewing a watch on my channel, the watch should meet 2 criteria. It should be both excellent quality and excellent value at the respective price point. So as discussed, the price point is 580 New Zealand dollars, which equates to 342 euro, or alternatively 414 US dollars. Yes, this is excellent quality, and yes, it is excellent value at those respective prices. I think Draken deserve full credit for coming up with an original design. This isn't an homage. Every aspect of the watch is unique. And I also think that they have done a very good job with regards to quality control, build quality and finishing throughout. The watch has no negatives whatsoever. Everything about it is done very well. The only changes I would like to see are the use of screw pins in the bracelet rather than push pins. And also, I would like to see a reduction in the heft, because at 211 grams it is a heavy piece. So with a bead blasted effect, it does give the impression of being titanium. And I would propose to Michael Blythe that for a version 4 of the Tugela, he should consider producing the watch in titanium rather than 316L grade stainless steel, because the titanium would have a similar finish to the bead blasted 316L grade stainless steel, but it would significantly reduce the heft to circa 150 grams or less, so it would make the piece more comfortable on the bracelet. But irrespective of the weight, I think that it is an outstanding watch, and I'm going to declare it a champagne watch for lemonade money and highly recommend it to you for your consideration. So I hope you've liked my review of the Draken Tugela version 3.0. Please feel free to post your comments below the video. Thank you very much.